I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Donald Trump reacted just as expected to the news that he would be criminally indicted in a federal courthouse in Miami, in the Southern District of Florida, by Special Counsel Jack Smith. The news broke on Thursday evening. We have learned that Donald Trump is being indicted on 7 counts. We know that these counts include violations of the Espionage Act, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, conspiracy, among other charges. This all relates, of course, to Donald Trump's theft of thousands of government records, and then Donald Trump's concealment and mutilation of those records, and Donald Trump's continuing efforts to try to deceive the Department of Justice, hence the obstruction of justice charges. Now, first, Donald Trump reacted to the news that he was going to be indicted by posting on his social media platform. Here is what he wrote. Of course, we had to be circumspect in what he was writing because Donald Trump lies about everything. So he posted right around the time that we then confirmed that his lawyers did indeed get notice that Donald Trump would be criminally indicted on all of those counts. I discussed Donald Trump posted the following. He wrote, "The corrupt Biden administration has informed my attorneys that I have been indicted seemingly over the boxes hoax." Not seemingly, you were indicted not over a hoax, but over the theft of thousands of government records, our national security documents that you stole and concealed at Mar-a-Lago, not a hoax at all. And he goes on to blame Joe Biden, even though Joe Biden has 1,850 boxes at the University of Delaware, additional boxes in Chinatown, D.C., with even more boxes at the University of Pennsylvania, and documents strewn all over his garage floor, where he parks his Corvette and which is secured by only a garage door that is paper thin and open much of the time. Page 2, I have been summoned to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami on Tuesday at 3 p.m. I never thought it possible that such a thing could happen to a former president of the United States. I'll pause there. We never thought that it was possible that someone who so disgraced that so important title would then go on to steal thousands of government records and then engage in obstruction of justice and continue to lie and lie again. That is what is unprecedented, what a criminal and a traitor you are. But he goes on to say, I never thought it possible, blah, 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 who received far more votes than any sitting president in history of our country. No, you lost to President Joe Biden. Again, he continues to try to spread election disinformation and lies. He goes on to say, and is currently leading by far all candidates, both Democrat and Republican, in polls of the 2024 presidential election. That is false. And then he puts in all caps, I am an innocent man. Page 3, he goes, this is indeed a dark day for the United States of America. We are a country in serious and rapid decline, but together we will make America great again, he writes. And with Donald Trump, it is all projection. The dark days were when Donald Trump was in office and disgraced our great country, our great Constitution. But this is a day of justice, folks. This is a day where we are showing the world here in the United States that no one is above the law. This is a time where we are showing that law and order truly matters. Special Counsel Jack Smith has pursued this matter very methodically, very diligently. Let's not forget that the search warrant that was executed at Mar-a-Lago, where thousands of government records were uncovered that Donald Trump had previously lied about, had lawyers sign attestations under penalty of perjury claiming all documents were returned. That search warrant was executed at Mar-a-Lago on August 8th of 2022. So it is still less than a year since the search warrant was executed. Get this, Special Counsel Jack Smith was appointed in November of 2022. So about 6-7 months ago, Special Counsel Jack Smith first took over. This is how swift that Special Counsel Jack Smith moved. Of course, there's video of Special Counsel Jack Smith from earlier in this week. That was the first time we saw Special Counsel Jack Smith walking. We're showing the video right now as I'm talking, walking towards his office. And I thought it was notable that in this video, Special Counsel Jack Smith, cool, calm as ever, he knew that indictments were about to drop, but didn't show it on his face at all as MAGA Republicans continued to spread lies and conspiracy theories, as Donald Trump continued to rant and rave and whine. One of the things I noticed in that video footage as well is that Special Counsel Jack Smith was holding a Subway sandwich, just going to eat lunch, just again, perfectly cool, calm, and collected. Then after Donald Trump posted on social media, on his social media platform, that he was going to be indicted, we then learned from all of the major networks and from our sources as well that Trump was officially indicted in connection with his theft of the thousands of government records on willful retention of national security material. That's Espionage Act violations, obstruction, and conspiracy. This was of note from Robert Costa over at CBS. He wrote, "What I'm hearing, Trump is frustrated that not just with the indictment, but with people in his inner circle who reassured him for months that it was very unlikely to happen. Source close to Trump says too much happy talk for way too long about what could happen. Monday meeting with DOJ didn't go well. It was mostly the Trump team laying out their concerns and the DOJ officials listening. This was not a negotiation or a friendly let's see where things stand meeting per multiple people briefed on it. Blanche didn't go but was briefed. The Florida factor has thrown Trump's team for a loop since it wasn't always expected, but they believe the DOJ has been looking hard at jurisdictional challenges, thinking ahead. Another factor that has several longtime Trump people on edge, Mark Meadows, and has Mark Meadows flipped? It is believed that Mark Meadows is cooperating with the Department of Justice and may have been granted a limited derivative use immunity. So all of that was breaking last night. Then Donald Trump made a video of himself where he went, I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. Here, I'll play you some of that video right now. Play this clip.
Very sadly, we're a nation in decline, and yet they go after a popular president, a president that got more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country, by far, and did much better the second time in the election than the first. And they go after him on a boxes hoax, just like the Russia hoax and all of the others. It's just been going on for 7 years. They can't stop because it's election interference at the highest level. There's never been anything like what's happened. I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person. They had the Mueller hoax, the Mueller report, and that came out. No collusion after 2.5 years. That was set up by Hillary Clinton and Democrats. But this is what they do. This is what they do so well. If they would devote their energies to honesty and integrity, it would be a lot better for our country. They could do a lot better. They could do a lot of great things. But when you look at what's happened to our country in the last 3 years, we were energy independent. We had a strong military that wasn't woke. We were doing so well. We were respected all over the world. Got the biggest tax cuts in history, biggest regulation cuts in history. And what do? You have a president where an election was taken, got more votes than any sitting president in history by far, never anything even close. And they come after me because now we're leading in the polls again by a lot against Biden and against the Republicans by a lot. But we're leading against Biden by a lot, a tremendous amount. And we went up to a level that they figure the way they're going to stop us is by using what's called warfare. And that's what it is. This is warfare for the law. And we can't let it happen. We can't let it happen. Our country is going to hell. And they come after Donald Trump, weaponizing the Justice Department, weaponizing the FBI. We can't let this continue to go on because it's ripping our country to shreds. We have such big problems, and this shouldn't be one of them. It's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax, just like Russia, just like the fake dossier was a hoax. You saw the Durham report. You saw the Mueller report. It was all a big hoax. You had 2 impeachments, and they lost and we won. And we had tremendous support. But that was a hoax and a scam. And now they're doing it again. It's just a continuation, 7 years, even after I'm out. But it's called election interference. They're trying to destroy a reputation so they can win an election. That's just as bad as doing any of the other things that have been done over the last number of years, and especially during the 2020 election. So I just want to tell you, I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong. And we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years. It would be wonderful if we could devote our full time to making America great again. And that's exactly what we did. But now, again, our country is in decline. We're a failing nation. And this is what they do. I'm an innocent man. We will prove that again. 7 years of proving it. And here we go again. Very unfair. But that's the way it is. I just want to thank everybody. We are doing something very special for our country. We're putting America first. I always put America first. And that's why we were in a position. Unfortunately, that position is no longer valid because they've done such a poor job. But we're in a position where we're going to make America great again. I'm innocent, and we will prove that very, very soundly and hopefully very quickly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we wouldn't expect such a criminal traitor, someone who's so detached from reality, someone who has caused such grievous harm to our country. I don't think we'd expect him to act any different than that. But let's also not forget this, and this is what I want to tell you in closing, right? The criminal indictments in Florida, one of the reasons we also think it's in Florida is because Special Counsel Jack Smith realized that Donald Trump was going to try to cause a delay by having the case, by making venue motions in Washington, D.C. If the indictment was brought there, now Donald Trump can't make these venue motions to try to delay the case like he likes to do. And so that actually caught Donald Trump's legal team by surprise that the case was ultimately brought in Florida, in the Miami Division Federal Courthouse there. But remember, this indictment is just on the theft of government records that Donald Trump stole. Thousands of government records, including classified, sensitive, compartmented information. The classification status was not relevant to the charges. It's simply that he took documents that didn't belong to him, that belonged to the government, that were national defense documents that he stole. Whether he declassified it or didn't, he didn't declassify it. But this criminal case against Donald Trump relates to that. Remember, there's still the case that's being investigated by Special Counsel Jack Smith related to Trump's election interference, Trump's attempts to threaten local and state election officials, potential wire fraud and other campaign finance violations by Donald Trump, the fake elector scheme, and all of that. I think Special Counsel Jack Smith will criminally indict there. Jack Smith's still working on that. He subpoenaed Steve Bannon and others in connection with the criminal investigation there. So I think we'll see more charges that will take place there. I believe those will be taking place in Washington, D.C. So, there you have it, folks. This is big news. No one is above the law. You saw Donald Trump's reaction to it. And again, everything he says is BS. Everything he says is kind of complete and utter gaslighting and lies. But I, for one, am proud of our country and our democracy today. The law was followed. No one is above the law. Justice is being served. And Special Counsel Jack Smith really came through for our democracy. Fearless person. I'm Ben Meiselas. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe. Check us out at patreon.com, and wherever you get audio podcasts, make sure you subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast, and have a great day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.